starving. Until now.
V Rising, a game that's been gaining traction ever since its release, so naturally I wanted to check out what the hype was about. I haven't seen any gameplay footage about this game and I had no idea what it was about. Jumping into the game, I selected PvE since I had no idea what was going on. I joined a random server, and I was actually a little bit confused because there was no tutorial, but whatever. I hopped into the server and was greeted by a character creation screen. There were quite a few options here as to how you wanted your character to look like, and obviously I had to pick a weird one. Long story short, this was how my character looked like. I was going to input Mara as my character name, but I went with the randomizer instead, and decided to stop on Judith. At this point in time, I should probably apologize to all the Judiths. Anyway, after that, I was finally in the game and was greeted by a tutorial. I learned basic stuff like moving the camera, flying out of a coffin, and jumping off of a cliff. Yep, definitely normal things somebody does on the daily. I'll spare you guys on the explanation, but this is also where they teach you how to craft, use skills, you know, normal things. Oh, and also, pay respects to Reds. Never forget that. So, after unlocking the map, I was once again reminded on basic cliff jumping etiquettes. The game also prompted me at this point to craft new tools, use set tools to gather more materials, and eventually upgrading my armor. So I pretty much worked on all these tutorial-ish quests until the sun is rising. What? Who cares? Oh, right. I care, because I'm a freaking vampire and I take damage while being exposed to the sun. Okay. Why? I totally forgot at this point that I was a vampire, and now I'm just sitting here wondering why vampires need to clear forest and build homes. This was also the part where I'm supposed to be building a base of some sort, and I was probably too slow and now the sun rose, so now I'm stuck in the day trying to find a place to build my shelter while the sun attacks me. It also didn't help that you couldn't just set up your base in any random area. It needed to be cleared of trees and rocks, which at this point in time were the things that were protecting me from the sun. Yeah. Also, it needed to not block a road. That was also kind of hard, and I struggled to find a place where I could place a shelter. The sun and random animals that attacked me while doing this also didn't help. Eventually though, I did find a place for me to conduct massive deforestation and set up my base slash shelter slash whatever it is, and as you can see, I took so long that it had already turned back to night. It didn't take too long though before a freaking bear attacked me, and so I had to get rid of it. I also learned that when enemies are low on health, you could just suck them off. Finish them off by drinking their blood. Naturally, they dropped crafting items and also blood essences, which I could donate to my castle. I still don't really know what that does, so somebody who knows, please let me know in the comments. Anyway, it took a while for me to finish building my base because of the sun, again, and I also somehow didn't have enough materials to build everything. Eventually though, I did finish up a simple shelter of sorts. At this point, I've also upgraded some of my gear so I could, well, get better materials to upgrade my gear. This game was giving me a lot of Valheim vibes. I want to take this time also to talk about the construction here. If you look at my shelter, I don't have a roof. That's because roofs are not a thing here, apparently. While I do understand that the sun burning you up is a core mechanic of the game, and developers probably want to preserve that mechanic throughout the entire game, I feel like the shelter you build should be a sanctuary of sorts. Besides, if you're allergic to the sun, isn't having a rooftop the first thing you think about when building a shelter? I don't know, the whole no roof approach seems a little too much for me. Also, I know that having a roof obstructs your view because of the whole top-down camera angle, but I was hoping you could at least toggle between top-down and a first or third-person view when you're under shelter. But yeah, I didn't really like the fact that I had to constantly look for shade in my own house. It just doesn't sit right with me. Anyway, the next thing I had to do was to construct and interact with a blood altar. I think this is the structure that allows you to track boss enemies, so after constructing the altar, tracking the wolf boss, going way too far from where I'm supposed to go, I eventually reached the boss. It's just a big wolf. It wasn't too hard, especially when my gear score was 20 and it only had like 16. Yeah, nothing too crazy happens here. After the fight with the wolf, I was able to, quote-unquote, claim its knowledge as my own. And basically what that means is that I can now transform into a wolf. Great. Well, at least I run faster now, I guess. With that, I went back to home base and expanded it. I know it doesn't look amazing, but hey, I'm no interior designer and I needed all those random walls to hide in the shade because, you know, rooftops aren't a thing here. I wanted to do another boss before I ended the video though, so I went ahead and tracked down another boss. This time it's some dude called Rufus, the foreman. Basically a bandit dude. Oh, I should probably also mention that the whole thing about this game is that you, as an oppressed vampire, is seeking revenge on humans. Or something like that, I don't know, I'm only like an hour plus into this game. So anyway, I tracked him down, waited till nightfall, and turned into a wolf and went for him. He wasn't much of a fight. Like, at all. He was really adamant on using his crossbow for some reason. I kind of expected him to pull out a sword or a dagger or something melee to use against me when I rushed him, but no, he just sat there with his crossbow and a net, trying to hunt me down like a wild game. So I just ran around him and attacked. He did summon a few other bandits to help him, but it still wasn't much of a fight. Even the wolf gave me more issues than this guy. So yeah, this is just the start of V Rising. I think this game is interesting, though I haven't played PvP yet, which I believe many people said that it's really fun. As of scripting the video though, the developers have also released an offline play, which would have been cool too for a solo experience. Anyway, that's gonna be it for the video. Let me know if you want to see a part 2 in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.